Welcome to the Hancock Hill Homestead. Uh, Wanted to come on here and tell everybody I thank you for the ones who have subscribed. As we made a milestone for my part is 100. That's what I said when I first started. I didn't think I'd get 100, but we got it, and I am truly blessed. I am truly blessed. And it's like what I said, I'm sticking to my word that the wife said we're going to give away something, but to be able to give it away, we got to know how to give it or who to give it to. So what we ask you to do is go into the comments here on YouTube, not Facebook, but YouTube. You go into the comments and you leave me a comment saying, 100, congratulations, you did it, or whatever you want to put. But anyway, when in this next video, this one here, I'm gonna be looking for the ones who have commented on it, and that's how we're gonna pick the winner of what we're gonna give away. So that's what we're doing today. Is I'm here on the front doorsteps of my house, watching traffic go by like normal. Just come out to do that. But also, I was on here and I was thinking about it, and it mentioned that what I need to do is kind of go over what happened to me 28 years ago. I said that I need to go over this and talk about it a little bit. 28 years ago, I was diagnosed with leukemia. Being a cancer survivor, back when I went through all that, you didn't hear many survivors as you do now. Nowadays, modern medicine has got us up to where we have a lot of people surviving cancer, and a lot of people do not. Back when I was coming through it, you didn't hear much about leukemia. That was all very rare. It was very rare. Either it was a real young person or either it was somebody who was very old that was pretty much brought it up, had been diagnosed with it. Me being 29 years old was a rarity. That was one that just didn't happen. It just didn't go on that way. People didn't see somebody 29 years old diagnosed with cancer, leukemia, and just didn't happen. And the thing of it is, everybody asks the question and stuff, what caused it? Well, we don't know. It could have been something I come in contact with. It could have been, like the song says, the lead paint we all gnawed on in the cribs, and, the other stuff we mess with, you don't know, But God knows all, so that's why I said I'm just thankful that God spared me and did that. But, as going through 4 rounds of chemotherapy, the doctor's best way to explain how you treat it is you set a green grass field, pretty green, lush green field on fire. You burn it off with the weeds and all in it, same as the leukemia. You burn it off down to bare dirt and then let it grow back up again. You burn it down again, and you repeat that for 4 times. And that's the way you get back to original stuff. You get original. You don't have the disease in there no more, because the fire or the chemo had got rid of all of it. And that was what Dr. Pavi, that's how he explained it to me. So that's the way I went through it. I've had multiple friends now, and I got one dear friend who had leukemia the same as me. His name's Chris. We call him Polar Bear. He's from the lower part of South Carolina. Me and him's got a lot of things in common. We both served on the fire department. Chris is retired now. I'm still active, hard-headed, I guess, but he's a little younger than me. But he was diagnosed with it too, and they told me and him both that, we would never have children. Most likely, we would never have children. But, God has control of that. God took and said, okay, you're going to have children. You're going to be blessed. And so I was, with 6 months after my last chemo, that Dorothy conceived Rusty, and we had Rusty. He was born, not born, but he was conceived. And 9 months later after that, then he was born. yeah, he was born right there at Dorothy's birthday. So, that's why I said it was a truly blessing, to be born at her birthday, one day apart. So that's another milestone, that God knows all. And then, like a few years later, then Dorothy got pregnant again with my baby girl Stephanie, and that was a truly blessing. And my oldest daughter, she's a true blessing too. She was a gift from God, in my wilder years. And the thing of it is, I think the world of her. I think I love them so, but all three so much that it's unbearable how the love that God gives you to be able to love someone. Yeah, I don't see them on a regular basis like I ought to, and I don't pry in their lives. I talk to them and call on them, but I talk junk to them all. Even I do to other people too, but I hope they don't ever take me too serious when I'm just picking at them or whatever. But most of the time, I try to give them life lessons like my parents gave me, on certain things to do, and try to raise their children, and do right by them. Most of all, serve God with all your heart. That's the true thing there, is believe that Jesus Christ hung himself on a cross and took our nails and drove in his hands, and hung on that cross and shed his blood for us, and then was buried in a borrowed tomb, and then rose on the third day, and ascended into heaven for us, and first of all, born of a virgin. My preacher spoke on that Sundays, talking about, that Jesus Christ never owned anything. Everything he had was borrowed. He borrowed a birth, he borrowed a cross, he borrowed a tomb, and then he resurrected, so everything he had was borrowed. And so, the only thing he owns is us, of this world, that he died for each and every one of us. So, you got to think about that. So we have to be able to share what God has given us. But yes, I was diagnosed with cancer, and then the thing of it is, had children come up, went through multiple tests. I did join a cancer research study so that way it would bless and help other people by me doing that. And I did that. I hope and pray that it did help other people in this world to be able to use my body as, a living sacrifice, to be able to share what has happened in our world today, that a lot of people overcome cancer a lot easier than what it was years and years ago. So I'm thankful, that God allowed me to be able to go through that, even though that was some harsh times. I watched my family and my friends look upon me like they was looking upon somebody dead, which I was. I was dead in sin and risen up from all that into a Christian life. I don't like to say that I probably would not have served Jesus Christ, but it took me going to my deathbed, and I've told some of them in some events in a Christian groups, men's group and stuff, that it took me going to my deathbed to be able to serve Christ, and I said, don't make it wait. Don't make yourself wait that long, Don't make it that harsh on you. Turn your life over to him, because it's a lot more better on this side. You don't realize that. But the thing of it is, I've come through it. I come through the cancer. I have children. I got grandchildren. I love them all. Wish I could see them every day, every hour, every minute. But, those things are impossible. It's not impossible, but it's kind of impossible to be able to let them be with their family and you be where you need to be and not impose. I love my mom and my dad, my sisters. I love all my family, and I love all my friends. And I don't meet too many strangers. I met a lady this week that I had never met in my life before. And it just after a few minutes, it's like me and her knew one another our whole life. You know, I reached out and helped and done what I was supposed to do. I think that's where we're lacking in our world today, is where we don't reach out far enough to try to help others. You know, we don't take the time. A homestead is here to help yourself and help the others around you. And I just had a visitor from my neighbor, and he was talking about pecans, you know, and I told him, I said, well, I got some in a bag around there. And he said, well, I picked up. I said, get a bag. I tried to sell them, but, you know, most of the companies that I got them, they don't buy them now. They done. By December the 25th, if you not got them picked up and ready to be sold by then the companies don't buy them. The man that used to buy them out of Florence and stuff, he's passed on and gone on, and his family didn't take up the business, so nobody buys them after December 25th, you might as well say. When Christmas is here and gone, it's over with. There's no more buying of pecans unless you go to Georgia, or lower part of Georgia, or Alabama, or Mississippi, or Florida. There's none in South or North Carolina that buy pecans. So, but I know I'm bouncing around and doing that, but yeah, I'm just thankful that I did be able to come on here, and I can share a little bit of my testimony that, you know, I did go to my deathbed almost, and went through chemo, come through it with the grace of God's help, come out on top. Love to share and talk, love to sit around and talk. I had a group of friends, I can get with them and we can talk for hours. Get around someone and just have a good time. But that's why I said I'm running out of things to think about to say. I kind of want to make sure that I tell you, come on here, please come on here. If you subscribe, then leave a comment and I'll make sure I see it. If you've not subscribed, then let's subscribe, hit the like button. And that's what I said, we got 100. I'm still gonna give it out, and I know I got 101 now, really and truly, not 100, but 101. So then I'm gonna give away a prize, and it may be more than one, so I'm not sure yet. We'll have to wait and see, because I'm not monetized. I don't make any money with this, and people say, oh, you making money with YouTube? Nah, I ain't making no money. I'm just doing this out of somebody believing that I needed to. My wife and daughter was the one who pushed me to be able to do YouTube. And that's where I'm at. I'm here on my front doorstep this morning, or this afternoon rather, in the sunshine, and just wanted to come on here and tell you that. And I wanted to tell you how much I really appreciate the ones that do listen, do come up, and they do contact me and comment on there. A young man that went to school with Rusty, who I know he does that because he makes comments all the time, and I really appreciate him. I remember him and Rusty both being on the academic team together. They both were super smart, and that's why I said I really appreciate him and his family. His whole family there used to be around from Ruby, Chesterfield area. That they were very, very good, close friends of mine. His mom was a school teacher, and I appreciate them. And all my other friends on here too, you know, they got a lot of family that's on here. I love all my family. I like to try to do what I can for them when I can. But after I talked to Miss Minnie, that was the lady's name I met, she told me, boy, you really busy. I'm like, well, I try to stay busy, because she said, yeah, idle mind is a devil's playground, ain't it? I said, yes, ma'am. So, you know, that's what I said. Just be available, be ready to be used when you can. And I'm sitting out here watching the birds. You see me turn my head because there's a bird, mockingbird. He's walking around right. He's right there. I mean, him and Peanut just ran him off, so he ain't gonna get too close to me with Peanut. So, but I just wanted to come on here and tell y'all that please put your comments in, subscribe, like, and keep us in prayer here at the Hancock Hill Homestead, and make sure you do that, and we'll get us a old-fashioned hat, put your name in it. We'll draw out the winner, and I may do it on here, but I know I'll do it within the next time I'm on here, and then I'll make sure I get up with you and somehow or another and get you where I can meet you at, or your address, or whichever one, and send you this prize. So again, thank you for being with us here on the Hancock Hill Homestead. See you on the next one.